What's going on, guys? I'm Josh.
I'm Samantha.
And we're the Collecting Couple. And today we have the top 5 worst Funko Pops of all time.
Let's get started. Welcome back to another video, guys. So go ahead, before we get into this video, hit that like button. Also, if you're new, hit subscribe and the bell so you know when we have new videos. But today we're going to be covering the top 5 ugliest Funko Pops of all time. So these are our opinions, of course. If you disagree with us or if you agree with us, awesome. But coming in spot number 5, so this is the least ugliest out of all the ugliest pops, is Squidward. So this is the original Squidward pop from the SpongeBob SquarePants line that they did. So this pop, it's not like super ugly, but I mean, it's Squidward. The mold, it looks kind of weird. His head is very like squarish, not really round like it would be in the show. Also, like his nose like is covering his mouth, and his body is a pretty good shape, looks exactly like the figure or the character on the TV show. But I would definitely say that this pop is definitely not one of the prettiest pops. So that is why it is taking spot number 5.
Coming in spot number 4, we have Doomsday from Batman vs. Superman. So this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive in 2016. So this would have been after the movie came out. I think some people were excited for this, but a lot of us realized that this pop is very ugly and doesn't really look anything like the character from the movie. It's kind of looks like a big ugly baby, and the teeth look weird, the head looks really weird. I don't know what's going on in like the crotch little area there. I'm not sure what that is or like what these big ugly feet are, but overall this is just a very ugly pop. It was a 6-inch pop, so a lot of people didn't buy it because of space reasons alone, but other people didn't buy it just because they really don't like the pop. And I suppose most people probably only bought it if they like the Batman v Superman movie and really needed it to complete the set. But I think most of us can agree that this San Diego Comic-Con pop is just very ugly overall and probably is one of the worst Funko Pops of all time.
Taking spot number 3 are the War of the Planet of the Apes pops. So these 3 pops are, they're pretty ugly. So we have Caesar, who is in the top left corner. We'll start with him. So honestly, what is going on with his fur? That looks like a bad haircut on his head. I don't really understand why his head kind of looks like that. I know like his face is like supposed to kind of be like, you know, faded in, but his fur does not fade at all into his face, so it just looks really weird, like it's just a bad haircut. Along with like his mouth kind of looks a little strange. And I just think everything about this pop is kind of weird. I don't know why it looks the way it does. So that's Caesar. Moving on to Maurice, who is the monkey next to him. This one doesn't look as bad. I guess it looks more accurate to the movie. But it's still weird. Like the fur does not fade into the face, and it's just kind of strange because it looks like its head just doesn't look right. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't really explain why, too much why that one is really bad. I think out of these 3, that one is probably the least ugliest in my opinion. And then we go down to that single pop. That is Bad Ape. Everything about this pop is weird. It does not look like a monkey. It looks like a weird, wrinkly old man. The head on it just looks awful, along with the ears being super big to the outside. The wrinkles on the forehead, the nose is weird looking. Everything about that pop is just very ugly, and definitely puts this set, that pop alone puts this set in spot number 3.
Coming in spot number 2 is an original Disney pop. We have Goofy. So this was the first Goofy Funko Pop ever made, and this looks absolutely terrible. This does not look anything like Goofy really, other than the shape of his head. Mainly the head itself, just the face. Like, what is going on there? We don't have regular pop eyes. We have these weird blank white eyes with no pupils, and the lids are halfway closed, and then the teeth are looking really weird, and I guess the body is okay, but the head is just really Like, what is up with the eyes? They're just like staring into you, and it's definitely far from what we've seen from Goofy Pops recently. We know Goofy Pops can be a lot better than this. This is an earlier Funko Pop, so I guess Funko is still trying to figure out how to make Pops in a more stylized way to get the character across very well. But this Pop is a prime example of just an ugly Funko Pop. But it's not the ugliest, though. It is only in spot number 2. So let us see what the worst and ugliest Funko Pop of all time is.
Here we have the number 1 ugliest, most worst, if that's even a thing, Funko Pop of all time. So keep in mind, this is just our opinion. We have the Venomized Daredevil. So this Pop looks really bad. The glam of it actually looks better than the Pop does in person. This Pop looks just awful. It looks unfinished, has no eyes, which I get because Daredevil is blind. But every detail on this Pop could have been a little bit better. They could have gone with some other kind of paint other than just the same matte red. I think that kind of, the only Venomized portion of this is really the teeth. And as you know, and when this Pop, Venomized Pop came out, they had done so many different and better molds where the paint was different, the body was different. So in my opinion, I just think that they could have done so many other things with this Pop and not just painted it red. What do you think, Josh?
I think this Pop is the worst Funko Pop of all time. Every time we see it in person, I like it even less. It will never be in our collection ever. It just looks unfinished. It looks like a prototype Funko Pop that never really made it past the prototype stage, and they just decided to box it up and sell it mass produced. Like Samantha said, if they would have used different color reds or something, some sort of shading or anything.
Or even like where it was like Venom taking over part of the body, like kind of like the others.
Other Pops. So yeah, this one's pretty bad, and I think it's the worst one of all time, and mostly just because it looks unfinished, and it looks like Funko released an unfinished product, and I think they know it was bad, and they just took advantage of the Venomized line hype, and that is why it is the worst Funko Pop of all time. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let us know down in the comments, what do you think the worst Funko Pop is of all time? Are we right, or did we leave something off of this list that you wish we had put? Let us know down below, but we will see you in tomorrow's video, and remember, never stop collecting.